Hello lovely people, welcome back to my channel, or hey if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It is festive season! I am trying to channel the festive vibes. I feel like this tree is quite lopsided, but we're just going to move past that. I am bringing back the iconic pink tree that I actually picked out when I was like, I want to say 10. It's still going strong. I have not posted in too long. It's been too long since I've chatted to you guys. I basically have come home from uni this weekend and I had the intentions of filming so many videos, getting such good content, and then I opened my bag and realised I forgot my camera. I have left my camera at uni, so I am filming on my phone. I hope that it's not too big of a difference in quality. I mean, I know that it is a difference, but I hope that it's not too not good. I hope that it's fine to watch for this one time. But for today's video, I thought I would talk you through the 10 books I have seen recently and that are on my radar to read over the Christmas period. Not just Christmas, also winter as well, in the months after December. So even now, like November and then January, February, these are all of the books that I've seen circulating and that have caught my eye, and hopefully you guys can take a recommendation or two from this video to add to your winter TBR. I think I'm going to start off with my Christmas picks just to get those out of the way, in case, you know, maybe you're not really a Christmas book lover. To be honest, I'm not a huge Christmas book girly. I don't really tend to read too many. I usually read about 2 or 3 Christmas books in December, maybe not even that, maybe 1 or 2, and that's fine for me. I feel like, yeah, anything themed I'm not really leaning towards. I'd more prefer just like a generalized winter book to like a specified Christmas book, but I do think, you know, they do help to get you in the spirit and they are cutesy sometimes, so I am going to add a few to this TBR. The first book that is Christmassy I really want to read in December is Big Nick Energy by Kristen Bailey. This one is a love triangle book, but it feels like it's going to be hilarious. We're essentially following a girl that has to choose between 2 different Nicks, and she's in this love triangle with them both. It's very unexpected. I think one of the Nicks is her ex-boyfriend who she bumps into at a Christmas market, and the other Nick is her brother's best friend who doesn't really like Christmas. So she's kind of trapped in this love triangle, and I feel like it's just going to be so funny. It is a rom-com. I think rom-coms are just perfect for Christmas time because they just are such feel-good books, and the name of this one alone just pulls me in because Big Nick Energy, like, what? That just sounds so funny. I cannot wait to read this book. I think it also came out in 2025, so that is a new release as well. Now, it wouldn't be a Lily Grace video without a cowboy book on this TBR, a cowboy book rec. You all know me, you know I love a cowboy romance. I love a small town romance. It is my favourite subgenre ever. So of course I have to add one to this TBR, even though it's Christmas. And to be honest, cowboys scream summer to me, but I've managed to find a Christmas one. So I really want to read Cowboy. The name kind of cringes me out, guys. I'm not going to lie, the name kind of cringes me out. But I really want to read Cowboy, It's Cold Outside by Maisie Yates. This one is essentially following a girl who has had a bit of a rough time with it. Her father has passed away. She has been raising her sisters or her siblings, and she really wants to go out and like do something for herself, like just achieve something that's been on her goal list. And yeah, she just really wants to do that, but she needs help from this guy. I don't know why, but she needs help from him, and she calls in a favour with him, and now he's going to help her out to achieve her like goal. I love books that are like this, where it's like a guy helping out the girl to like achieve a goal, or the girl helping out the guy, like anything like that I love. It kind of reminds me, not the plot, but like this is where my love for this like trope started, was the film The Duff, where that guy is helping her become not a duff. I loved that film. I watched it so many times and I just love that kind of plot. So I'm very excited for this one. And even though the name is kind of cringe, peace and love, but the name is a little bit cringe, I am super excited to get back into a cowboy romance. A book I literally can't escape from right now. It is all over my For You page, all over Bookstagram. I've seen incredible reviews. The people that got asked for this have raved about it, and I simply must read it. It is Good Spirits by B.K. Borison. This one is a bit of a Christmas carol retelling. So we have the guy who is the ghost of Christmas past, I think, or he's the ghost of Christmas, and he every year has assignments to go check in with different people and sort of fix them, like as if they're Scrooge, but it's a different person every year. And this year he's been assigned to help out or assist the main character. I think she's called Maisie, maybe, and she doesn't really know why this is happening to her. She's a really good person. She has not really any reason to be treated like Scrooge, and usually in his assignments he's like, get in, get out, let's get this done. But with this assignment he is like, oh, I'm actually really enjoying my time. And that's where the story kind of takes off, the romance starts. And I'm just so excited to read this one, purely for the fact that everyone is raving about it and I need to know what the hype is about. Also, it says on Goodreads #1, so I don't know if it's going to be part of a series, maybe like a Christmas series. I was thinking potentially maybe every book could be like Christmas past, Christmas present, Christmas future, maybe? I don't know. Moving away from the Christmas books, the next book I'm adding to my TBR is All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. This book is one I have wanted to read for years and I've just never picked it up. I have never bought it, but I just feel like this is the time. I really, really, really want to read it. I saw that it's on Netflix as well, I think now. I think it's a film or a series, I'm not too sure. Obviously I want to read the book first. This is a World War fiction book. We are following a girl who lives near the Natural History Museum in Paris, and then the Nazis overtake Paris and she has to flee with her father to live with her uncle somewhere else that is safe, essentially. And we're following her during this time, and I just feel like it's going to be very impactful, very insightful, very educational. And yeah, like I said, seen that there is a series or a film on Netflix now, so I would like to watch that as well and also read the book. So I'm going to try do both over this winter period. And yeah, this one's been one I've wanted to read for so long. I also saw Sarah Caroli reading it recently, and that has definitely given me the push to pick it up myself. Okay, the next book is kind of a bit random and different. So different for me. I don't really ever pick up sci-fi books. I think the only sci-fi book I have ever picked up is Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. But the other day, me and my boyfriend was in Waterstones and we was browsing around the table, and we got recommended Project Hail Mary by Andy Ware, by one of the workers in Waterstones, and he was explaining how it's a really, really good book and he really recommends it. So because of that, I have been thinking about it since then and I really, really, really want to get to it. I don't typically pick up sci-fi purely for the fact that it just doesn't interest me. It never really has. I've always been more of like a fantasy girl than sci-fi. However, when someone is expressing how much they enjoyed a book and how much they loved a book, it really does become infectious and make you also want to read it. So because this guy was absolutely loving this book, I have just been thinking about it ever since, and I feel like his passion for the book makes me feel like I will really love it. From what I know, this book is about a guy who is sent on a last chance mission to save the Earth, maybe, and he's on his own in space, and if he doesn't complete the mission, the Earth will be destroyed. Could be wrong, I'm a newbie to this, but I think that is the plot of Project Hail Mary. It is a bit of a popular book. I feel like everyone, or a lot of people, have read it, so I definitely want to see what everyone's saying, see what the hype's about, especially since it got recommended so highly to us in Waterstones. And yeah, really excited for this one. Hopefully I can add a new genre to my list of genres and become a sci-fi girly. Since this next book has been republished or traditionally published with completely new covers, I would really like to read Daughter of No Worlds by Carissa Broadbent. This is a series. I really wanted to get my hands on the original covers because I love the original covers. And I just always kept putting it off. I was like, oh, they'll be there, you know, like they're not gonna go anywhere. They went, they're gone. So now I can't get the original covers unless I want to like pay an arm and a leg for them. So I am gonna have to get the new versions, which to be honest, I think I'm just not as pretty. Sorry, I think the new covers are just a bit boring, but I've heard really good things about the trilogy, and I think winter fantasy goes hand in hand. This is a series I have wanted to read for ages now. It's just that the books are quite chunky, but I feel like that is also good because we're going to get loads of details in them. I have read the Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. What is it called? Serpent and the Wings of Night? Is that what it's called? I think so. I've read that one before and I did enjoy it. I didn't continue the series. Sorry. Because my thing was I had the indie published version of that book and then they just stopped doing the indie published ones. So then I had like a random indie one and the rest were going to be traditionally published and they didn't match anymore and I got demotivated to read the series. That was a big mouthful of words, but long story short, I did really enjoy that book. And I do really like Carissa Broadbent's writing style. So I do want to try out this trilogy because yeah, it just sounds like it's going to be like so packed full of plot, so packed full of character development, packed full of romance, and it just seems like it's going to be a fun time. The next one is inspired by Destiny Sidwell because I was rewatching some of her old videos the other day and I think one of them was where she was reading books from her childhood or that she grew up reading, and it kind of inspired me to read Narnia by C.S. Lewis. I have only ever seen the films. I've never read the book of Narnia, but something about it just has that like December, Christmas, winter magic to it. And I think if you're gonna read Narnia, it has to be in the winter. So I do really want to get to it and just sort of relive that era. I was very inspired when she hauled it for that video. And I think I might get like the bound up one of all three. I think there's three, yeah. And just sort of explore a childhood classic. Even though I didn't read the book, the films I did watch. And I feel like the story is so iconic and everyone knows the story. And I just feel like it would give me that like magical Christmassy feeling. So I really, really, really want to read Narnia, and that is definitely on my TBR for December specifically. The seventh book I think that I want to add to my winter TBR is On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. Really sorry if I had pronounced that name wrong. This is a book that is on the shorter side, which I think is so lovely to read sometimes, especially when you can read it in one sitting. And this is one that I think is going to be so poetically written, so beautiful, so impactful. It is a letter from a son to a mother who cannot read, and it is basically telling you the story of their family history. And I think it starts in Vietnam, or their family history is rooted in Vietnam, and we're basically just going from his childhood or the mother's childhood throughout their life and just explaining the whole family history. And it's all written in a letter format. This just feels like it's going to be so beautiful. And yeah, I've heard incredible things. It's a lot of people's favourites. I personally love a poetically written book. I love a quite deep and emotional book. I think that is really beautiful from time to time, and definitely if you've been reading a lot of like more rom-com Christmas books, it's nice to have more of a deeper, raw, emotional one in between to switch things up. And yeah, very excited for this one. The next one is one of those books that fits into the weird girl genre. It is called Big Swiss by Jen Beagin, I think. This one is along the same lines as My Year of Rest and Relaxation, Mother Thing, Night Bitch. Kind of like that weird girl genre. We all know it. We all love it, maybe. Maybe you don't. I do quite like it. And I've seen this one on Bookstagram before because the cover is really cool and it's quite like a visually appealing cover. So I always see people take cool pictures of it and I always think, I kind of want to read that book. It is basically about a girl who spends her time, I think it's like her job, to transcribe therapy sessions from a sex therapist called On, I believe. and she is transcribing one of the therapy sessions and ends up falling in love or becoming infatuated with one of his clients, who is a repressed married woman. So she, from reading the therapy sessions, is almost putting herself into Om's shoes, as if she's conversating with the woman, and through reading and writing up the therapy sessions, she's becoming more and more infatuated with this woman. So I think it's like a bit of a weird, it's obviously weird girl genre. I'm honestly not too sure what you can even describe weird girl books as. Like, what genre do they fit into? I don't really know. But she basically names this woman Big Swiss, and that is why the book is called Big Swiss. And yeah, I feel like I need a weird girl book in my life. I've not read one since Mother Thing, which was, I want to say like 3-4 months ago now. And it's about time I get a bit weird and read another weird girl book. And the last book I'm adding to my winter TBR is In 5 Years by Rebecca Searle. This one is a book that I have seen circulating for a long time now, and I've always really wanted to read it and get my hands on it. And I think what better time to read about a book set in New York City than winter Christmas time. This is about a very type A lawyer who, she's always got a plan for everything. She's got to-do lists, she is just on it, very organised. She has her 5-year plan set in place. She's just finished a really big important meeting. She meets up with her fiance, they're getting married soon, and then they go about their evening. She falls asleep and wakes up in a completely different apartment, a completely different ring on her finger, next to a completely different guy, and she's like, what is happening? This is insane. What is my life? Like, what's going on? And then flashes back and she's back in 2020, back with her original life. But now that she's seen this vision, she's like questioning her existence, questioning her plan, questioning if she is even in marrying the right guy, if she's in the right job, what's going on. And I just feel like this is going to be a really entertaining but interesting book to see what she's going to do, and I can't wait to read this one. I love a book that has a bit of a unique plot. And I also love a book that's set in New York City. I mean, how can you not love a book that is set in New York? And that is all of the 10 books that I am going to prioritise in winter, in November, December, January, February. These are the books that I really want to get to in the winter months, in the colder months, and at Christmas. I hope that you have maybe been able to see a rec that you want to add to your TBR. And if you've read any of these books, please let me know in the comments. I would love to know what you've thought of them, if they're any good, if I should read them, if I should add any more books to my TBR. As always, please let me know. And if you've watched this far, let me know in the comments what is one book you want to prioritise this Christmas/winter time. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I really hope to see you in the next one, and I apologise again for the phone quality. But we move, we live and we learn. Have a great rest of your day. Bye guys.